Hello, greetings. This is Psychic Underlord from psychicunderlord.shop. Here with another video, intelligence video, and outside it's October the 8th, 2025. A little windy outside. They say it's supposed to be in the 70s, but it feels a little colder than that, and quite windy and rainy as well. So much has happened. I often try to space out the videos to uh, give the right approach, the right touch. A lot of times, views and clicks and likes and shares get in the way of true spiritual information that's led, that's given, that is served up to be given. And I can't ever step outside of my initiation and do something that is too soon or something that is a little too late. So I often tend to do videos that will uh, provide you entertainment, enjoyment, ability to have a good time, relax your nerves, and to be able to get some good information. If you're not able to watch, you're definitely able to listen. Just put your earpiece in and you can put your phone down. So if you're washing the dishes or doing whatever, this video is going to be talking a little bit about the patterns of the Illuminati. The Illuminati has been sensationalized, has been overly exposed, broadcast widely, communicated and expressed by people who have no idea what it is, who are not connected in any way to this particular cult. And if you're a consumer of any type of mass media, publication, books, fashion, all the accoutrements of society that human beings are involved in, the Illuminati has its hands in it. It has its hands in its supply chain. It has its hands in the product, in the way the product is promoted, the access that the product has to the mass population. These are very serious business deals that people are involved in. And if you're not familiar, to you it may just seem like people are just involved in nefarious, terrible things. But according to their metrics and according to tech, there is an algorithm and there is a certain amount of something that will give them something. How in the world do you think that tech companies can predict how they're able to sell enough of a free product to be able to compensate and pay people thousands and millions of dollars? One woman from a big tech company, which will remain unnamed, she just retired. She said, that ship has sailed for me after making reportedly over $380 million. I don't know what this hell this lady was doing with her hands or with her body. I mean, there are people out here who will give you their body and allow you to take their soul for $5. $380 million? That seems a bit extreme. And what type of extraction of profit is involved? That sounds exorbitant, like an exorbitantly inflated amount. How do you negotiate that to say, you know what I do at my own discretion here on the job is worth $380 million? That's big. You've got to have major confidence to be able to sit down and know exactly what you're doing. And how good of a person do you think that you can really be if you've gotten so good at doing what they do that they have to pay you $380 million to do it per year? That's crazy. But then again, They have numbers. The numbers are associated with lives being touched, industry, commerce, sales being made. Over time, the projections and the historical record of what has been done with this particular product, in this particular space, in this particular database of people. If we put X amount of people into the automatic dialer system, X amount of people buy. So when it washes through, they're able to compensate one person $380 million, and there are thousands and thousands of people. And many of them are not even in the United States. Like we have, it's so strange now. They have American companies that are hiring people all over the world. And for some reason, they're legally able to pay them as overseas contractors from anywhere in the world except America. But then the company is being taxed and utilized in the space of the United States taxpayers who are footing the bill for all the different services provided. And we know that there's a business interest where these companies can write off so much that they end up having zero taxes after all the business that they do have zero taxes. And the people that live where they live, the people that participate in the services, they're taxed in the commerce of what they have to buy. So it's literally just like extraction on the highest possible level that has not been criminalized. And we don't know why. I don't know how you can hire someone overseas to do different things and pay them $380 million to do it. And there's, zero tax. We're just going to send the payment to her. No one questions these things. Absolutely no one questions it. It's just like when you had the illegal immigrants, they said, let's just pay them. Let's just compensate them because it'll give them a good start. While at the same time, mass incarcerating and mass murdering through drugs, through ill health, and all of these maladies produced by the system as population control. De facto population control, unofficial, alleged, and we don't know how to rehabilitate or why these people are even here if they don't want to utilize these people. Is the next step something that is more nefarious than I'd like to say on this broadcast? We can't have people just laying around. But these people have been effectively deactivated by the system. And when they're deactivated, there's no ability for them to reconnect or refresh the connection. They do have organizations. They do have different resources available to these people. But I'm not going to say that these people have no value. But if all the money is being distributed in this global economic scheme and they're not in on the scheme, how are we going to be able to get people to a place where they're able to be compensated as this thing continues to grow? The Illuminati has made so many inroads, even in things like law, politics, defense, contracting, general services. I've even heard of the Illuminati being involved in trash and in the recycling business, in taking trash, making money from trash. And then that also is such a strong business because it's an evergreen, eternal business that almost nobody is able to see a better option of being able to make money when they can just continue to gain power and gain influence. The same street, the same people, different people come, they move out, the other ones move in, we get your trash. Control, and how they were able to control the labor and shift the labor from United States citizens to illegal immigrants through de facto uh, naturalization agencies, I'll call them, naturalizing them into foreign countries through foreign agents. Now, they do have this concept in other countries, of course, where people from overseas are convinced that job prospects are better here and they will provide their upkeep and transport them in hotel, sporting, and all kinds of industries, construction. They bring the people there, and they're not legal citizens, but they're able to be compensated through the company because the company is in control of them. So whatever that means, I mean, after you get off at 5 o'clock, I don't know if that means you can't go out to the mall like anybody else, or you just basically are here in America or here in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, France, wherever, and you basically go from the store to your room. I don't know how that works, um, but it's a viable option financially. So the patterns of the Illuminati are very clear: control and dominance over industry, over monetary pools of income. That's an invisible pool, a dark pool of money. When you have money that is a line item in tax terms, wired instantly to a shell company, and that shell company is compensating illegal immigrants. So the Illuminati is even on the other side, profiteering from those who are of foreign origins. So, thus, we hear Steve Bannon and all the different Republican operatives, people having their accounts frozen, people who get in the way of this supposed Illuminati, which I term them as a cult, very respectfully. A cult meaning that people are devoted into the belief of the organization so strongly that it is just as a second instinct, a devotion uh, to that group. Uh, there was money being made in the human trafficking. If you could imagine having thousands and thousands of people, what if you could imagine millions of people, undocumented and unseen, set up in safe houses all over the country, being distributed by trucks and cars randomly, incidentally, through some type of randomized, uh, as needed system, money being extracted from their bodies through some type of physical labor or even a sexual innuendos that they are being used for, and then have those people leave those locations and go to other locations. It's really difficult to identify when people are engaged in things that they really want to be engaged in. And we say that people can do better. Oh, anyone can do better than to steal an apple from Target. Anyone can do better than to try to boost a t-shirt from a discount clothing store and try to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Anybody can do better, this is what they say. But this is what people actively want to do. I've seen in the Philippines many of the women and men who are sexual servitors living in cages, living in squalid conditions, and somehow the clients go in there, crawl into these very small crevices. These places are about the place where those prostitutes are living in is no more than 4 feet wide, 8 feet deep, and 4 feet high. So the clients come in and stoop down and go into these little rectangular spaces. The doors close behind them, and some type of activities are happening in there. They emerge, those clients, but the other individual remains in that room. And the hallways are extremely small, no more than 2 to 3 feet wide in hallway, and maybe about 6 feet tall as far as height of the hallway. And they have little lights that go down, and they're looking and identifying, and they have their heads peeked out. Okay, I want to go to this one. I'm going to go to that one. And who's to say that those people are being held? They haven't ran out. They haven't called for help or even made a phone call to say that they are inside of these places, inside of the Philippines, Laos, Vietnam. Many of these countries in Asia are notorious, just massive amounts of what is termed as human trafficking, but basically no one is coming for them. No one is coming to get them. The Illuminati is also involved in that. There's a taxation process. There's above table Illuminati and there's below table. So if you could imagine the discretion involved in the mastery of money on top and money on bottom, that is a massive operation involved in the extraction process. And it serves the patterns of the Illuminati to have these people transited, moving, transient, nameless, propertyless. And after a while, you have so many millions of people involved. The assumption is that we don't need affordable housing. We just need housing for those at the most elite level of income and earning, who can afford thousands of dollars a month for rent and just basic accommodations. And then when they're ready to come down to this hallway and they kind of stoop down and look into these little rooms, they can basically select which area they go into. They come out and then they go back to their luxury apartment. So there's a need above in tech to be able to compensate these individuals at their worth. That woman, she was worth $380 million a year. That observation, or however they came up with the number, it's more than speculative because they actually paid her that. And then she comes out with an article on the Google news feed saying that that ship has sailed. She's done with tech. So I'm sure they're crying and saying, "Oh, we wish she could come back because we could make more and more." But she said that she's done. And then they have this new thing about how at the same time, while millions and thousands have been, what do you call it, downsized or laid off, then you have this whole thing where they're saying that there's a new push for executive AI. Now, we all know what generative AI is. It produces letters, forms, things that people should have the basic education to do, that we once uh, assumed in the education of people that they would have the skills to produce these things. And they did, because the things that the humans produced all of this stuff. Now AI is saying, "Oh, it's going so fast." Yeah, it's going fast. It's going at the speed that you type in. So if nobody is inputting anything, what is the purpose of it? They just did a study at Yale, it just came out about 2 days ago, that said AI has not replaced jobs. This this recent round of huge layoffs is a result of years and years of them coding themselves out of a job. But they're still sending these kids to school for computer science because there's nothing else you're going to do with a young Oriental genius. These people want to make money, they want to succeed, and there's no better way than something that you're actually good at. I mean, these people, they're good with computer stuff, programming and things. Me personally, in coding, I realized for me, and this may sound crazy, but to me, it's a dumb person's job. Because if you miss one dot, one letter, one this, one that, you just wasted another 30 seconds of your life. So it's just sucking up all this time. They used to have it where people at Facebook and Microsoft, they were saying, oh yeah, it's the coolest thing because we got the guys, they just basically just sleep on the floor. They just go into the sleep room and they kind of go to sleep and then wake up and then come right back to the computer and just keep on working. Because they're so addicted to solving the problems because the damn thing is not rendering. The damn program is not actually running. So we keep it on the computer and just keep the whole thing open, and then you just keep jumping back on and on trying to crack the code and make this damn thing work. And then there's another bug. You gotta go back and with a magnifying glass. Where's the code? So then they say, oh, the vibe coding is so perfect. Do you know how many errors are in vibe coding? Vibe coding is an error making machine. I repeat that again. That's the most profound thing I've heard all day. Vibe coding is an error making machine. And it doesn't work for much. It doesn't. It only works for things that are very minuscule in nature. Things that don't really take vibe coding to do. A recipe presentation machine. You press a button, a recipe comes up. Oh, that's cool. Okay. People pay for it. But then did you hear about how many people, this is alleged, they say that the vibe coding companies, was it Dream.ai and a few other vibe coding companies, have been stealing money from people's accounts. So they basically sign them up and get them on these like monthly packages. And then they just take their credit card information and go to town and fraud their whole bank account. And the person is thinking, they're like, oh, this is some kind of thing where I guess I'm being charged for usage or something. I could see that I'm well within my credits, but this is some other kind of stuff. And the thing is not even freaking connected to the internet. You can't, the addresses that you go to the vibe coding, it's non-functional. Okay, so someone across the internet, they could also go to the website that you assign for this thing and use something that's just as benign as the thing that you're using. So the vibe coding is dead, but not after these big Wall Street investors have kind of sunk this money into these startups. Oh, it's a new type of startup. That's what they were thirsting for. Is something like that's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I know you've heard, is Bitcoin is really on its way out. Um, it's at the end of its run. So all of these tech people who have heavily invested in Bitcoin, they've already lost. So they've been waiting for it to go back. And then what's going to happen is it's going to go all the way out. And then they're either going to have to say, I'm either going to hang in there or either I'm going to I don't know how you cut your losses from a loss, but yeah, I mean, all the way out. So the speculation around tech, the ruse is coming off. The blanket is, you saw somebody under the blanket. You thought that something was going on under the blanket. So then you pull back the blanket and you see that it's nothing but some kind of toy, a vibrating toy, just like shaking around under the blanket. And it's not what you thought it was. So then you say, okay, well, what did they do right? Hmm, what did they do right? There are a lot of things that have been done right, but it's not a whole lot of things that they've done right to justify, or what they're saying is such a thing as a mass layoff, because the language models and everything that's coming out from them is a lot of hallucination, a lot of stupidity. And then they say, oh, we just hooked this with quantum computers. So we got to do all this stuff just to do what a human being was doing 5 years ago. 5 years ago, a human being was doing it. A publicist was writing a letter. Oh, well, I don't have to pay for publicists. So now we're racing to the bottom while compensating people $380 million. This is a theft of money. This is an Illuminati setup. And that woman with $380 million, they know who she is now. Allegedly. Allegedly, according to Google News, because they got a picture and everything. So somebody knows who she is, just like the other people that were the crypto millionaires or something. Um, you've got to be crazy, because if you had enough money back then in 2016, 2017, because I was also an early adopter in crypto, so I've been watching it from the very beginning. I was watching crypto before it even came out. I heard about it. I was reading. I was in the industry. I was in the media industry. So I was watching reading technical. I did technical writing, reading manuals, PC news, all these different things. They were saying that this kind of digital decentralized currency and this kind of really far out concept of having a new stream of income. But then what it turned out to be is that crypto just basically sucks up all the money and then devalues it. So crypto is a liability. It has devalued, even with the freaking blockchain and them, just like this whole data centers. See, the data center scam reminds me of what crypto was trying to do with their crypto farms. Remember that? Oh, we're farming cryptocurrency. We have to open up all these new companies and just fill them with hard drives just to run blockchain um, mathematical problems over and over 24 hours a day, and this produces money. And then after you do uh, you set up the crypto contract with these companies, just like the crypto uh, companies that would farm for you, and they say, okay, well, we're gonna guarantee a X amount of a return at the end of the year. The contract has been fulfilled. You paid all this money to get XYZ. You receive it. Then the very next day, the site goes dark and all your money's gone. So where the hell was I supposed to put the money? Oh, no, you take the money and move the money to a wallet and then to another wallet and then people are stealing wallets. And then, the first thing you sign up for shit, I'm going to go to a new website. You sign up for a new website. Give us your wallet so that we can access the crypto out of there, put it in here, and then we put the money in here, and then we're going to grow it here because we're going to farm it, and we're going to run the crypto and increase it. Next thing you know, the app goes dark. Oh, so crypto has been taking people's money, converting it into liquid cash, running. So they have the scams have been elaborately set up with cryptocurrency. They take your money, and in the process of it, the whole game is to run your money through a gauntlet of different financial ruses, and them on the other side to take say you're doing crypto. Oh, I'm crypto mining. I'm crypto mining in my own house on my own computer. Oh, I'm so smart. I'm a freaking computer genius. I've got a crypto miner in my basement. You take your crypto. Who the hell are you going to trust? Nobody. So it's the Wild West, and you have these people that have zero integrity. Zero integrity. They're corrupt as all get out. And these are the people that we're trusting, and you're saying, oh, for the back end of my website, I need to get one of these computer tech people. I don't want any tech people involved with anything that I do. Anything. I've got to put rituals on people before I deal with them. That's how serious it is. And that's how much of a scam that they've proven cryptocurrency to be. And on the AI tip, and on the tech tip, and on the web development tip, and on the accounting and the fiduciary side of the money dealing with these companies, and then the extraction, the taxation of it, and then everybody gets a fee and everybody gets a cut of all this different stuff. You've got to really watch out. So crypto, in its infancy, was the most corrupt. They say it was the most democratic and the most humane way of being able to have decentralized way of sharing uh, equitable incomes across social strata, across the world globally, and having fairness and parity. So now we're all just trying to keep up with the American dollar, right? We're all just supposed to use that as a standardized straw tool, and while at the same time extracting American dollars out of America to go and send it somewhere else so someone can go to one of these entities or machines, suck the crypto out into actual cash, and then go spend it again. So spend it again on a fucking Lamborghini. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and the only people who are winning at it are scam artists, liars, thieves, and cheats. They've proven it. They've proven it. And even if it's in its infancy, it was basically a boys' club. We saw that it was a boys' club from day one. But a lot of people saw that it was also passive income, economic opportunity. They just proved themselves to be equitable and fundamentally legit scam artists, just allegedly. All cryptocurrency people. And especially the ones that are trying to sell cryptocurrency to other people, get people to buy and all that kind of stuff. It's a hoax. Then with the AI, so if you could monetize or calculate how much money was sucked up and lost in cryptocurrency value, and you say, "Oh, that's just a short term." No, it's coming on to a decade. It's coming on to a decade, and something that is this closely tied to the financial system, even with its limitations, it has been a huge bloat and a dearth upon our financial security because it is no good. Numbers are numbers. If the thing is cracking codes and it's moving forward steadily, cracking codes, what's the hold up? Oh, I get it. You've got us all watching the screen while behind the screen they're just taking the money out, the cash money. There's no mistake about that. See, they're not asking you for crypto; they're asking you for cash for the crypto. So there's no mistake that It's a ruse. It was never decentralized. It's all monetized towards the scam artists. Those same scam artists, wholeheartedly, if they had money back in 2016, 2017, I can guarantee you to come from tech. Money enough to be able to go all in, like a lot of money, nobody in their right mind was putting that type of money in. So the ones who are the crypto millionaires that they're hunting now today, notice how they hunting the crypto millionaires and killing them, which is crazy allegedly. It's so crazy. They're going like, and then it's decentralized, and they're going in and finding people's information. So it's like literally like tech hackers who are like the biggest freaking nerds, and they're also murderers at the same time. So then they're just chasing these people down to kill them and telling them to open the freaking wallet and transfer all the money over while they got people on the cell phone, and in real time they're like extracting money out of multiple ATM machines. That's like that's like worse than they used to have those futurism movies when stuff like that would be like the Total Recall or something like that. Like now, that type of shit they're actually doing it like these high level scams and literally getting away with it. Like it's so intellectual. You have to be super intellectual to decipher. Like on the edge, with the edge of a gun to your head, you're opening wallets, you're transferring information, you have like a 32 character code to be able to protect your financial information. You're doing two-party verification. Okay, that's just come through. Going back. Now I'm going to do text message to, so and so. Okay, no, I want to see what you're doing. Okay, no, I'm going to do it. Give me the information and I'll go through with the some type of bank verification to be able to do. These people are freaking crazy. Then you got this AI thing. So they swore up and down. They said, this AI is going to take our jobs. It's a tool. It's a tool for people who didn't have the skills to do this type of stuff or the access. I mean, we were really running into a lot of problems on the internet. Problems with piracy, problems with um, pictures and videos, and how do you grow when nothing you have access to really nothing that you can really use legitimately. They had a uh, free marketplace, like you can kind of look for pictures and look for content and things that are able to be used to produce content. But there was really a bottleneck where people were saying that, you know, I'm just going to stick to email because I can't figure out how to negotiate all these ideas and different things I like to do because it's just too much uh, issues of as far as legality and what can and can't be done. And so the generative part is to solve many problems. We know the Illuminati is involved in AI. And this is a pattern. This is a pattern. Just like they were involved in cryptocurrency, um, they also now have given the signal to take down cryptocurrency. So basically, they're basically washing their hands of it. They've already done these huge multi-billion and million-dollar acquisitions and uh, did all kinds of things uh, to to fund these cryptocurrency farms and all these different things. They've realized it's not safe. It's not legitimate. AI is going the same route. You can do a language model, but what they're doing is they're taking other people's stuff and producing things that are new, and some of the models are not that good. So then they say, oh, it'll get better. Oh, yeah, it'll get better, right? How much better did TV get? I ask you. When TV first started, and there was a camera, and there were people, and there was a camera on wheels, And there was this, there was that. Yeah, the quality of what you can show on television has got better, but it's still essentially TV. It's not like if you turn on a program from 50 years ago, literally 50 years ago. This is how much the technology is really progressed. 50 plus years ago, you turn on a show, it's TV. That's it's no question about that. So what are we waiting for with AI for it to get so good, for it to basically do its job without us? The only purpose of humanity and these tools and all these different things that we have is for our benefit. So AI, the day that AI is starting to take jobs, and I mean, you can put in an automated answering service. You can put in some type of AI thing that answers questions over a phone, but you still don't have anybody at the office who could receive the damn people in the door. So you got a dental office with a phone machine that answers and sets appointments for you. But shit, I'm running late. uh, what are you gonna do? Open the door yourself and let the person into your dental office? Just sit there in that room. And then when you get there, you go through the back door and you just kind of you have some kind of automated system. Unlock, okay, unlock, and then the person comes in and gets their teeth. That's stupid. That sounds real safe, right? So what is it? What is about human beings that they think that money has value without us? Without human beings, money has no value. So they've essentially worked so hard to work themselves out of reality that all the different proclamations that they had, the great freedom and all this wonderful stuff from a freaking language model and something that can you put in some kind of directions and it'll send an email for you, or it'll go and get information and create an Excel spreadsheet for you so you can end up doing all the work, or have it do the work from the spreadsheet and then you still got to do all the work, right? So all the work ends up having to be done anyway, right? So all these people, so say if you have something that's does not involve work, that's good. But how good is society if we have no opportunities to work? What are you going to make? You're going to make absolutely nothing from AI. So getting all excited about how you have something that's uh, so disruptive and so wonderful and so amazing and smart, it's not. It's just taking all the different things that we already know, giving it back to us in a form that's faster, that we can use, but it's really geared toward those who know how to use it. Even in 10 years, I can't see people turning around and saying, oh, well, everyone's a super genius now. AI is so slow. There are going to still be people 10 years from now using AI to try to create a book report. And then they're going to get caught trying to do the book report for school and fail. What was about 100 years ago, if you went to a school, how do you know that it's a school? You would know because it's the same people there to learn something, gaining information from what? From another human being. In COVID, those children, 50% of every school system in the entire country, 50% of the students never showed up to school. So this whole ruse of self-directed learning and how computers are just wonderful. There's no regulation. There's no teacher certificate needed. So there's no teaching certificate needed. So now I'm putting my child in front of a freaking computer and trusting that the computer is going to be able to teach them. What is learning? This whole thing of geeks thinking that you can learn whatever, you don't need human beings to learn. Learning has no purpose without human beings. So now you're going to produce products for people who don't exist or people who can't afford to even pay for your product. And there's so much because of AI, there's so much competition. Now your shit is up against the wall. And now you're trying to figure out, well, what are we actually trying to fucking get? That's the problem. That's the problem. And the Illuminati has got you. They know that they put that money in there for the AI, and they saw that it didn't work without the freaking people. So now they're calling the people back to the job and say, "Oh shit, we didn't. The thing said that you didn't. We didn't need you, and we didn't have enough sense to look at it ourselves and realize that it wasn't freaking true. We're just moving at a rapid clip, and the casualties of war. We're so fucking smart. We're just waging war with the whole fucking world to just create a better bottom line. And then the bottom line turns around. You have to bring back the same fucking people and pay them more. Or worse, you're going to have to pay somebody $380 million who says, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of everybody at this major company and all these people sleeping in they had this big thing about people sleeping in vans for such an opportunity with these big tech companies. It's the dream of a lifetime to do this. And they're living out of their truck. How do these people smell for you to put them through that and go out into the middle of nowhere where there's no freaking resources because these companies are so cheap, but then they're paying these people through the nose? No type of housing, no type of setup, and then you say, "Oh, this is so nice, it's so cool. They got a cafeteria and all this different stuff." It's all a ruse to get people in there so they'll sleep in there and just keep trying to crack codes. If the vibe coding itself is nothing but an error machine, do you really think that all those people are that smart? No, they're not. These are just average people with above average skills in a certain area of their life that applies to nowhere else. So I literally have to live in a van because I've already rationalized that the sum total of its parts as an individual are worth me going out into the desert and living in a van and taking a 4-hour commute to go and work in a place and basically just enslave myself to these hours and do all this kind of stuff that's crazy. They're no better than you. The patterns of the Illuminati, they cannot take a loss. So whether it's Whitney Houston or whether it's you, whether it's crypto, whether it's AI, whether it's rappers running for their life, but they put millions of dollars in them, but now they're running for their life. That seems to be more like a fun story. So then people are saying, okay, well, what is the purpose of them running for their life? There has to be something interesting. And then you listen to the music and it's garbage. They don't get off scot-free. There's a price to pay to the Illuminati. And if you don't pay that price, you have to figure out how to compensate them. I don't know how you would be able to compensate using sex as a tool for payment, because I mean anybody who is accepting sex for payment realizes that that's no real real money from it. You're just using people. You're just traumatizing someone. So all the different stuff they're saying, some of it's true. Some of it's true. When it comes to this channel, some of it's true.